We are back. I'm gonna give you folks a little bit of time. Can you guys see me? All right. And here's my overhead. Let's switch that a little bit. Oh, that was so weird. It was just freezing. I'm gonna give folks a little bit of time to find us back here. Let me grab the new stream. Hold on. Good lord. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Susan found me. Yay! Hold on, I'm gonna try to get the link to the stream so that I can just help people find it really easily. Susan, thank you. Oh, Salsa's back. Okay, so I'm back. I see Facebook too. I'm back. I'm back. All right, Vida's back. Salsa's back. All right, woohoo! Let's get this show rolling. Well, it's all working. Sheesh. All right, let's go. Let's go. And I'm gonna make sure everyone's on Facebook can see okay. Let's see here. Wasn't that weird? Like super weird. Let's see. Let me grab the stream. Share. Copy. I'm not just gonna put that in the Facebook group. We're back live. And we'll post that. Okay. Woo! Okay. All right. That is so weird. Yeah. You know, technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it gives you grief. Okay. And I'm going to switch to this one. Okay, so it's more zoomed in. So I actually had these 3/4 inch dilly flowers, and I chose the smaller size just so that it will show better on screen and I can zoom it up. And I'm gonna grab, I prepared a needle with red thread. I would actually aim for matching your thread color with your background fabric so it blends in nice. So technically I would have used the white thread here, but I'm gonna go ahead and use red thread just so that the stitches show easier for you. Let's pick a even lighter. Okay, this one. And I'm gonna grab my handy dandy glue stick. And remember, we did not base the inside, the curvy part of the dilly edges, right? Everyone remembers that. And this one's older. And someone bought the restickable glue by Elmer's. I've never seen it before, so that was new to me. Probably because I don't pay attention. I only go straight for these purple washable glue sticks, school glue sticks from Elmer's. They have the clear version too, but I've never seen the ones that says restickable. So I would just stick to these because they stick really nice. And plus it's purple and it dries clear, so you see where you're gluing. Let's start with the new one. So it's dark purple, like so. So remember, we did not glue down the curved part, so you can see how I can put my finger in here. Like so, right? But if you find that, let's say you're making the bigger dilly edge pieces, then you might want to put a little bit of glue here, not on this side, but on the inside, like so. Let me put a little extra so you see. On the inside here of the paper, just to hold this edge put so that it's not flapping around if you find that's easier, okay? Ooh, Deborah, you made it! Hello! Yay! Okay. Oh, everyone's making it back. Awesome sauce! Very good. So I'm going to pick the lighter color here. I'm going to flip it over, and before I glue it down, gluing it down is going to make it easier. And you want to make sure when you glue it down, I haven't put any glue yet. See how we have these seams here on the flower and the seams on the dilly edges, right? So you want to make sure you align those so that they all line up correctly. See the lines, 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 right? And when they are all centered, your flower is going to be right smack center on the dilly edge. So if it's off like this, I'm exaggerating a little bit. See how the edge is way over there? They are not lining up. Your flower will not be centered. And see how you see the back of the dilly edge here? You do not want that. So you want to make sure you align all these lines here. This line, this line, this line, this line, when you glue it down, okay? Oh, the purple gets messy for you, Julie? Oh, this watch is snug. Hold on. Yeah, definitely use the white one if you find the purple is too messy. It's all, yeah, it's personal preference. So what I'm gonna do, because right now I used 1/4 inch seam allowance on my project. You might have 3/8 of a seam allowance. Does not matter which seam allowance you have, but what you want to do is put the glue on the seam allowance here. I'm gonna put a little extra. Remember, you don't have to put this many. Not this many, not this much glue. So you can just see where I'm putting. Oh, I put a little extra on there. So do as I say, not as I do. Put a little bit of glue. So normally I would just put a little bit like this. So you would barely see it on camera, right? But the glue goes on the seam allowance part. Like so. I'm just gonna go around on all the petals. Put a little glue. And I know all this glue here is gonna give me grief because I put so much extra. So I'm gonna wipe a little bit off. So that was just to show you where the glue goes. And now that I got glue on all the seam allowance edges on my petals, now I can go ahead and line it up. Remember, we want to line up the seams, right? This seam here needs to line up. So you can kind of push it down a little bit. And as you're lining up the seams, go ahead and secure it. And if you want to make extra sure that it's staying put, you can use one of these seam rollers. This is actually a face massage roller, but same concept. Go ahead and like push it down. So it's nice and glued. And if you have an iron, even better, go ahead and iron it. And then it's stuck on there. And then we got this piece that you can work with. See how it's stuck? And it's centered right on. And you know, because, whoops, see how the seam allowances are matching up from the flowers and the edges. Super, super cool, right? So if you, let's say you were doing 3/8 of a seam allowance, your seam allowance would still match up in the back. Everybody's okay with this? Let's see here. Oh, it did not go. Oh, well, someone's joining me from Facebook. Who's joining me from Facebook? See, Deborah's joining us from Facebook, so it's streaming somewhere. And we have Facebook users watching. So it's somewhere, Tracy, but yeah, it might be tricky. Sometimes Facebook doesn't show the live stream right away either. But I'm glad you joined us on YouTube. Yay! All right. So I hope this makes sense. So everybody's glued their two parts together, the flower and the edge, and this is what it should look like on the back. Let's say you kind of just eyeball the seam allowances on the edges. It won't be exact like this, but you should be generally in the center, right? And you'll see the seams here. Let's take our little ruler. See how the seam is lining up, right? So, right there. And every which way I turn it, all the seams are lining up, so I know the flower is centered on the dilly edge pieces. Centered, all the seams are right there, and it's perfect. And I turn it over, like so. And now that I got my handy dandy threaded needle with red thread, you don't want to use contrasting thread like this. It's just for demo purposes. Use matching thread colors. And this needle I'm just using because I'm going to EPP applique. That's what I've been calling it because there's no like official name for it, right? So it is like applique, but you've actually got the support from the papers and the petals as well as from the papers and the edges. See, all the papers are still in. We haven't removed any papers yet, not even the center hexagon paper. And then I can just start here. I like to start in a corner, and I'm gonna come up from the back, and I'll actually feel, see, it just goes straight through really easy right there. because you're going in between, in the gap between the papers as they meet between the edge and the petal. So there's a gap right there, right? Right here, where the petal and the edge meet. And it's coming up from the back. And I got a knot on my end here, like so. Then I want to catch a little bit of the edge of the dilly flower petal. I'm going to catch a little more so you can see right there. And I'm just going to pull it through. And I'm going to go down towards the back. Same spot I came up in the petal is where I want to go down in the back of the edge. And see how it just goes through? You're not sewing through the paper. You're going right in between the two papers of the petal and the edge. Go down, come up. And then here you can see I came up right along the edge of the paper, right? All right, let's see. Is everybody following along okay? Oh my, Julie has 120 dilly ornaments to EPP applique. That's a lot, Julie. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it. And then I'm going to come back up again. Move a little bit, about stitch length away, maybe a little shorter. And just come up. And then go down. So you can decide if you want to catch a little bit more of the petal or just do a stitch straight up and down. So your choice. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit and come down. And then I come up. Grab a little bit. And go down. So even with the red thread, you barely see the stitches, right? If I turn it this way, you can see. But once everything's sewn together, you won't see the red stitching. And it's not so pretty on the back, but that doesn't really matter. And then we just go around. So this is how I've had someone that asked about the whatchamacallit, the clamshells. So it's the same process basically. So I like to do a little shortcut where I'm just like I'm doing a running stitch almost. So I've come up and I go to the back. See how it's going to the back? Like so. Do you see that? And I go up about a little bit, about a stitch length, and come back up. And I go sew right through the edge of the dilly petal. I'm going to do that again. I came up. I'm going to go down like so. And I said, come about a stitch length. I bend my needle, flex it, and I'm coming up a stitch length up next to the side here. That's where it went down. It's coming up about a stitch length. So I've already grabbed some fabric, right? And I can go down in the same spot towards the back and come up and grab some fabric. And this way you'll just end up doing a rocking stitch motion, like a running stitch. Whoops. And now you're securing one stitch to the petal and a longer stitch to the backing dilly edge. Like so. Oh, okay. Hey, Carol Ann. I'm glad you found us on Facebook. Woohoo! And Shelly says, just joined in. I have my fabrics, but I haven't been able to get anything started yet. You are A-okay. You can just catch up with the previous 2 lives, and you'll know exactly what to do. And I go down, come back up. And I will show you my back. So I'm grabbing more of the dilly edge fabric and just one stitch in the front. So I found that to work faster for me rather than the other way around. Like that. So if you've been doing a lot of applique, then use whatever method is more comfortable for you. but this is just giving you support from the papers in both the petals and the edges. And I'm just going to go ahead and bend this a little bit. There we go. And once I come to the corner, we'll secure it with the knot. Just to make sure if something should happen and unravel, it'll stop at the knot in the corner. So I'm going to go to the back. Grab a little of the seam allowance here, it won't show. And you would have matching thread, so you wouldn't show even less, right, than the red thread here. Just gonna wrap it around the needle and secure it. So now you see my oh so lovely stitches on the back. They're in red. They're right along the edge of the Dilly edge paper and the Dilly flower petal here. And in the front, you don't see anything. See, I'm gonna lift it up just so you can see which one is the one that I sewed down. Like so, right there. So you can barely even see the red stitches, right? The red thread. So Shelly said, "Oh, Carol's birthday's tomorrow. Happy early birthday! Woohoo!" Do we have a birthday? No, we don't. I don't have a birthday song. Dang it! And Shelly asked, "So you're stitching between the edge paper and petals?" Yes. So we're going right in between the edge. So see how you see the seam allowance, and once I put the petal on there, there's like this minute gap right between the papers of the petal and the edge, and that's where I'm going through. And the needle should just go through like super easy. If you find that the needle hits the paper, then you're too far up towards the edge or too far in towards the petal. So you should go through super smoothly and easily. And that way you'll end up with stitches that are right along the edge of the Dilly edge petal that you'll see here. See my red stitches right there? So you should preferably use matching color thread and then you'll see it even less. Let's see here. So Carol Ann, are you celebrating with cake? What you doing for your birthday tomorrow? So I've knotted the corner and I can keep on going to the second petal. And I loosened it, so I'm going to add a little glue so it stays secure. Like that. And I'll just come back up. And I'm just going to do like this rocking motion. So I go down in the same spot I came up, come back up, one stitch length away, grab a little bit of the Dilly flower petal fabric, go down in the same spot I came up, come up a stitch length away, and I've grabbed the back fabric, which is the Dilly edge seam allowance, right? And come down in the same spot, come up a stitch length away. So once you have your Dilly flowers and your Dilly edges all together and they've been glued together, right? This is super quick. They come together really fast. And if you're not a fan of applique and because it's hard to maintain the shapes, you'll find that this is so much easier because you have both the papers and the petals and the papers in the edges. So you got perfectly round shapes, right? Because you basted it already and we haven't removed the papers yet, and it'll give you really nice end results. And we just stitch our way around. And this is perfect for when you're watching TV or movie, whatever, because everything's been put together in pairs already. So all you need is to just stitch it down. And you got that little gap between the petals and the papers to guide you. So you don't really have to think about what you're doing and just sew around here. Oops, I should secure these two. I just lifted the whole thing. And when I'm putting it down, I make sure that my seam lines are matching up so that my flower is centered on the dilly edge. So that's why I wanted you to put your 6 dilly edge pieces together first and not one petal and one edge together at a time. Okay, so this makes it much easier. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Face fuchsia tongue out. I guess that's an emoji. My birthday's Saturday. Today's our anniversary. Oh my gosh, Julie, happy early birthday to you too. And happy anniversary. And then we just keep on going. I'm trying to make sure I'm sewing at an angle that shows what I'm doing. Let's see. So I'm trying to watch the monitor as I'm sewing, and it's a little tricky. And I come up in the corner. And I'm just gonna go back down to the back. Right there. And secure with the knot in the seam allowance. And now you see 2 rows of my beautiful red stitches and the curves. See right there? So your back stitches, they don't have to be pretty, right? Right? They just have to hold your 2 pieces together. And then this is what you would see from the front. Like so. And if you end up with a little bubble here because your seam might have moved a little, you're going to be totally fine once you move the papers. So you don't have to worry about that if there's a little gapping. So this is pretty straightforward, I think. Let me know if there's any questions. Let me look for those. Oops, I should cap my glue. So Julie's, her brother's drawing him. Wait, my brother's drawing me and his wife. His wife's sister, nephew's girlfriend. All a party Saturday. Oh, lots of birthdays. Awesome. How fun. And Carol Ann asked, how do you make a 1/4 inch with the dilly edge if you don't have the templates? Do you mean the acrylic templates, Carol Ann? You would just add a 1/4 inch to the papers. So you would have to use a ruler. And let's see. Oh, and Penny asked, you are not wearing a thimble? No, no thimble. This is yeah, I don't find this to be very it's not very hard on the fingers to sew through, but if you are a thimble user, definitely try it. My thimbles and my fingers, they just don't like each other. Like the thimble falls off or it won't stay put. There's always something going on. I do have a lot of thimbles that I've tried, but it's they don't like me. I don't like them. So what I do instead, if I find that I'm pushing against a certain spot on my finger and it's getting raw, I just use this tape. It's the Next Care tape. See right there. It's from 3M Next Care tape. So it has, see how the finish is a little bit glossy? It's kind of a little bit of rubbery texture to it. And then see how it's thicker? So I just take a piece like this. It's like $3, $2.99, $3 or $4. Oh my god, it's stuck on itself. Let me just cut a piece. Gonna cut that. And then I'll just put, usually my needles always hit this spot right here. I end up getting a little raw spot right there on my 3rd finger. So I'll just put the tape over there just to give it a little protection from my needle. And I like this tape because it gives you a little extra grip because of the slightly rubbery texture. So you might want to give this a try if you're not a thimble user or your fingers don't like thimbles. But if you are comfortable with thimbles, yeah, definitely you can go ahead and try that too. Let's see here. Oh yes, Salsa, I totally agree. Just what she needs. A big party. Woohoo! Let's see. And Tracy asked, should the thread color match with the edge color? My edge is a team color. I'm guessing teal. Teal, is that what you mean? Team color. Let's see. If my flower was dark like this, then I would probably. But see how even when I'm using red thread, you can barely see. Can you even see it from the front? Not really, right? Only if you turn it sideways like this and I pull it, that's when you see my little red stitches, right? So you should be fine. Even if I did the dark blue, I would just use my white thread. But you could opt for a neutral in between thread when you're doing a dark or dark and light, super light combination. But because your stitches are going right in the ditch between the two papers or the two shapes of the edge and the petal, it shouldn't show too much unless you're using like red. But I'm assuming you wouldn't use a weird color for your combos. Let's see here. Oh, we have another Tammy here. Tammy, from St. Paul, Alberta. Hello, welcome. Yeah, Julie matches her thread to her flower color. Okay, yeah. Tracy said teal. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was kind of guessing like team colors. Which team are you rooting for? uh, uh, what flower? What color is your flower? What color are your flowers, Tracy? Yeah, if you find that the teal color of your let's say you're using teal thread, if you find that it's showing through too much on your flowers because they're super light like this, then switch to the color that matches the flower. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna check Facebook, make sure I didn't miss any questions there. I think this is pretty straightforward, yes. So who is doing how many let me how many dilly flower hexagon combos are you making? As you can see, I got a lot of dilly flowers here in the 3/4 inch size too. And these are all Liberty quilting cottons that I made these dilly flowers out of. Let's see here. I think Facebook group is good. I don't see any questions there. Oh, I should pin this. I'm gonna pin it to the top. Carol Ann's gonna have cake maybe. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy in the tummy. Let's see if any questions on the English paper piecing site page. Nope, I don't see. So is everybody okay? Everybody doing all right? And then you'll end up. So what I do when I have a whole bunch of flowers and edges that I make, I actually just glue them together first. I won't even. Yeah, I just glue them together like this one. Did I sew it together yet? I can't even tell. Yes, I did. So this one, I have the white thread that I used right there. Hold it up on the edge. And then on the back, you don't even see the white thread. Let me hold it up here. So you can see the edge. Oops. Yeah, flip it open a little bit so you can look inside. I don't see the little stitches inside. So it's very invisible once you start working this way. And because my seam allowances match up, I know that my flower is centered correctly on the edge pieces. Like so. And this one I sewn together. I've been doing really good sewing them together. Let's see if see, this one is just glued on, see? And this one's been glued on for 2 years. I think since the last sew along. And it's still staying put. Oh, I should actually show you. Yeah, see how there's no residue from the glue, so you're okay. I know people are worried about residue from the school glue. And pop it up like so. And Carrie asked, when you go back down, are you going in the same hole or right next to it? Right next to it. So let's show it this way. Let me grab another piece. Ooh, I'm like, I don't want to lose this needle because it's sharp. Let me grab one more little piece of thread. So you want to go, you're kind of like rocking it a little bit, right? If I have my glasses on, I can't thread my needle. Pardon my semi-blindness. There we go. Glasses go back on. Just gonna put a knot on the end. Let's glue down this one so it stays put. So we just glue the seam allowance. Da-da-da. And I want to make sure I match up all my seam lines so it's centered. And I can just come here. I come from the back to the front, right in between. Just gonna grab a little bit of the fabric of the flower, dilly flower to start with. And I go back down right where I ended the stitch on the dilly petal. So you can do it that way. And I was showing how you can just do faster by coming straight up a stitch length away. And then go down right next to where you came up. So not same hole. If it is same hole, it should be okay, but I think you'll end up going right next to it. And then just rock your needle and then come up one stitch length away on the petal. So I just ended up picking up a stitch length of the dilly edge fabric, and then I'm up to towards the top, kind of just like you're doing a running stitch. So I go down right next to where I came up and come back up. Like so. And then you'll see my stitches here right in between the edge and the petal right there. So your stitches are going to be a little bit like they'll end up looking a little slanted as they're going around the curve, right? So they're not perfectly like this, but they're like that. And then they stack on top of each other. Hope that makes sense. And Tracy said multi-flowers in small print. Oh, okay, multi-flowers, small print flowers. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, then you'll totally get away with using any, colored thread, I'm sure, because there's a lot of flower colors. Since they're multicolored, you'll be fine. So oops, got a little knot there. So I came up. I'm gonna show you like this. Oh, like that. Oops. Oh, that made me dizzy. See? And I go right next to it. So it's not the same hole. Okay? I just rock my needle one stitch length and come back up on the petal. Let's see. Oh, hello. So Meta says, I was here 2 years ago and I didn't quite get how you stitched the flower to the edge. So I just did it my way. This time I finally get it, and it is so much faster. Yes, it just like it just kind of gets this repetitive rocking motion, right? And you just it just comes together real quick. But if there's a way, another way that you prefer to do it and you like it, do it that way. This is just how I found that these two pieces come together easily and accurately, and I don't really have to think about anything. I'm just like, oh, my needle knows to go in between the two papers. It feels resistance, then it means that I'm too far into the edge or too far into the petal, and I just back my needle back out. So, and I'm just doing a single stitch. I mean, single thread. And one more here in the corner. And just secure it to the seam allowance. So I just wrap my thread around the needle, hold the wrapping and pull it, and then you end up with a little knot. Ta-da! And we don't see the red thread. So yes, it might look tricky, but once you get the hang of it and you get into the motion, you'll be fine. And remember that if it's something new that you're trying, you might feel a little awkward at first, but just give yourself a few tries to try it, and the more you get used to it, and you start building that muscle memory too, right? Your hands kind of get used to, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. And if you're doing the 1-inch hexagons and it's bulky, remember, always bend your papers, right? Don't try to hold your hands at a weird angle just to keep it in place. Just bend the paper. Paper, it's reusable, you can press it. So we want to save our muscles and our hands and not have that death grip on something. Just try to keep it in place as we're sewing, okay? Let's see. And then we just snip it off. And I can go ahead and finish the rest, right? Let's see. Any other questions? Is everybody doing okay? So I just want to know, is everybody doing several of these at least for a little mini quilt? Whatnot's it? So next week I'm going to show you how to incorporate the setting diamonds and triangles so that you can fill it in. Remember, the coloring pages has the variations where we have the setting diamonds going in between the hexagons, like so. So like if I have it like this, like that. So for this variation, you would have a little setting triangle going in here between, right? To fill in the gap. And if we do it like this, which other way can we do it? And if we do a straight edge here, you would have the setting half diamond that go in to fill in the gap. So refer back to your coloring pages to see which layout you want to work with. And if you're doing the setting diamonds and triangles, next week will make sense as I'll show you which piece, how to base them, and where to place them in your project. And if you just want to do the hexagons, that's totally fine too. Any hexagons, you can just keep on stacking them, right? Like so, and build them into a bigger project. Like that, and I can just fill it in. Zoop. Let's see. Oh, Francis, yes, easier. Was it actually 2 years ago? I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I keep on looking back, so it's 2022. What? Let's see here. Oh, Marcy, buenas tardes, teacher from Argentina. Welcome. Welcome. And let's see. And Laura says, I'm hoping to complete a double bed quilt. Might take me quite some time, but I love this pattern. Need to get triangles still. Yeah, take your time. Don't rush this process. Enjoy it. And then, yeah, before you know it, you'll have enough hexagons to put together into a quilt top. And Fran's planning on making little mug rugs using one daily flower on each. Oh, I love mug rugs. Can't wait to see. Let's see. Okay, qué bonito. Thank you. Let's see. And Fran says, pretty like the hexes together. Yes, there's so many different variations you can do on the layout. So that's why there's what's it, 16 pages on the coloring pages, right? Just to give you ideas for how you can play with your daily flower hexagons and the layouts. And yes, and then yeah, you can still get the coloring pages for free with the code that you find at the end of my blog post on my blog. And so go ahead and grab that. I'll leave that up for, let's say, what's today? Today is the 6th. Should I leave it up until they end the code so you can grab the coloring pages for free? At least until the sew along is over, running. So but do grab it before next week so you can play with the coloring pages and decide on your layout. And you can decide how many setting diamonds and triangles that you'll need to fill in your project, right, as you go. Because you want to account for the background fabric to have enough for those pieces as well. All right, so I don't see any other questions. Oh, Hannes planning on making a little tablecloth with 7 flowers. Yes, that's going to be so pretty. So pretty. Can't wait to see. Uh, let's see here. And Julie is making quilt throw size with Disney dilly flowers. Have triangle and half hexes for edges. Oh, I love that. So pretty. And Shelly asks, so what will you be covering next week with the dilly flowers? We're going over the setting diamonds and triangles. So for those folks that are filling in the gaps here between, like I was showing, uh, like that. So if you're doing this type of layout, you're gonna need to insert setting triangles or diamonds depending on how you want to make your project. I could do this, then you would need a setting diamond in between here, right? So those are the shapes we'll go over next week. So that's why I said it'll be helpful if you have the coloring page and you know where you want to lay your pieces. Just remember though, like you can always change the layout that you do towards the end of the project. Like I start with an idea and then it changes as I progress too, right? So you're not stuck. It's not like, oh, I colored it this way and I have to stick with that. No, you can always change it. And I think playing around with these setting diamonds and triangles too will show you the opportunities for how you can play with your layout and it'll look so different. So that's what we'll be doing next week. Let's see here. And let's make sure I didn't miss anything. And I don't see any questions that I missed on the Facebook live stream. So sorry about the snafu where we had to stop the live stream and restart. For some reason, my camera wasn't picking up my motions. It was just frozen. So that's what we did. And then if you happen to miss the second part and you're here for the replay, we're glad you found it. And I will make sure to put links to both live streams in the email that I'll be sending out with the reminder to catch the replays. And if there's any questions, come join inside the Facebook group and ask over there. I think I've been trying to answer to YouTube questions as well, but it gets a little scattered when people are asking questions on different areas. But because I'm trying to highlight everyone's progress photos under the guides in the Facebook group too, I think if you are on Facebook, come and ask us there. But if you're not on Facebook, and then please go ahead and do ask on YouTube as well, and I'll try to get to questions on both ends. And if there's nothing else, I will see you all next week. Bye. Oh, don't forget to share your dilly flowers as you're making them. They don't have to be finished. Share progress photos so we can all cheer each other on. All right? And I will see you all next week. Bye.